Hi guys, and welcome to C# Access Database. In this tutorial you'll be able to add data, update, delete, save straight into record, and so on. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take you guys straight into C# development environment, and you will see how I put this together. So let's do that now, guys. Hi guys, and welcome to C# tutorial of Access Database and how to connect, delete, update, save, and so on. So let's click on create new project. I'm going to select C#. Let's click on next, and we give our project a name. So I'm going to just call it CS underscore access save update and maybe delete. So that's the name of my project. I'm going to click on create. Okay, now that the form is ready, let's click on the form and set the size of the form as follows. I'm going to make it 1030 by 780, and let's just click on enter. There we go. So I'm going to come back to the toolbar and let's get hold of, let's collapse this. I'm going to get hold of a panel, I believe. Yeah, there we go. There, I've got a panel there. Just drag it that much. Right, I'm going to change the size of that, the color of that panel to, I think maybe cadet blue would do. Yeah, let's come straight to the background. Right there. Web, scroll right down. We might be able to get cadet blue there. There we go. Now, I'm going to copy the same panel. That is it right there. So the panel that I've just copied, I'm going to change the color of that to control. There we go. And this panel is going to be a child of the previous panel. And let's just align it properly. I'm also going to copy it again. Just hold on to your control, click and drag. Okay, that's fine, looking good. Up here, I'm going to need a title, so let's bring this down a little bit, and this down as well. Copy this very one and just paste it right there, and now we're going to increase that or decrease the width. Okay, let's get hold of this one again. Let's see, just drag it this way, and I'm going to bring it right down here. I'm going to paste it somewhere here, so let's move this down a little bit and move this up. Yes, maybe I'm going to put my search criteria in there. Okay, let's go straight into tools now. Inside the tools, I'm going to need some buttons here. That's one button there. Now text box, come right down here, grab a text box, put that here. That would be for the search. Now click on this small rectangle, select multi-line, and that takes care of that. Now we also need a label. Come right down here, we need a label, one here. Copy this label, put it up there. Select all of the component that I have on board, and I'm going to increase their font size to something a little bit readable. So come right here, and the very first one, maybe I'll make that about, let's say 36, and see what's going to happen. I think that's alright. And here, this one, let's increase the font of that a little bit, maybe 48, make that bold, and change the font of that to maybe access connector or something. Let's say access data connection, data, or maybe database connection. If we don't have enough room, I'm going to have to increase the size. Let's see. Okay, that's not bad. Data, so we can put database then. There, that's fine. Okay, that stays put. Right, I like that. So now the next one here, that's going to be for student ID and so on. So let's scroll down. Just like I said, this is just all about creating a database, and at the same time we should be able to save the database straight into Access. That is what this tutorial is all about. The tutorial is actually at the request of a viewer out there, so let's copy this, copy, there we go, and all of the required buttons. So let's speed that up. So just copy the button across. I think I'm going to need about, yeah, let's put one more. Okay, this is going to be, let's call that maybe add data, and this is going to be update, and this is going to be btn update, btn update. Why this one is btn add data? I guess you get the whole idea, so I'm going to speed that up. Okay guys, this is how it's looking. Now let me add a data grid view, this one. Grab that, and now I'm just going to draw that right there. I think that we do. Right. Okay, if I run it now, this is what you guys will see. There we go. Okay, let's exit out. Now the next thing I want to do, let's create our database right now. Click on database and select the blank, and in here I'm just going to call it CS save. Yeah, that will do. CS, let's say C save. Yeah, that's the name of my database. Okay, C# saves. Okay, then click on create. That's saved inside my document. So I'm also going to give it that same name. Right click on the table, and I'm just going to save the table as C save. There we go. That is the name of my table. Now right click and let's select design view. In there I'm going to call the first data student ID. Yeah, that's fine. I'm just going to change it to short. That's okay. Then we have first name, surname, followed by address, postcode, then telephone. There we go. That should be about 6. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, and that will do. So I'm going to get rid of this primary key. I don't need that for now. Just get rid of that. Okay, that's fine. Let's right click up here and just save. That's my database now. As you can see, it's empty. So I'm going to close that. Close the database. Now back into my project right here. What I want to do now is to go straight to the server. Look at the server there. If you don't have this server, all you need to do is go to Windows and select reset window layout and just click on yes, and your server toolbox data source should appear in there. So let's click on the server explorer. Now right at the top of the server explorer is the connect to database. Click on the connect to database, and connect to database open up this dialog box that says add connection. The data source that I'm going to be using is Microsoft Access database, but if you want to change yours, you can always click on change, and that's the one I'm using. That's fine for me. I'm now going to click on browse to wherever I have my database. I click on C save. That is it right there. You see the admin, I'm going to get rid of that. So let's test it out. You see the test connection? That is it. The connection is successful. Click on OK. Now, you see inside the admin, advanced, right here where it says advanced, I'm going to click on the advanced. What I want to do in here is to copy the part of my database. Okay, and that is the part right underneath there. Look at it. So you can just copy. We're gonna need that. Click on OK. Now make sure this admin is out. Click on OK again. There we go. And just for your information, if you have any problem with the path, you can always right click here and select properties, and right inside the properties you should be able to see your path right here. Okay, look at your path right there. So you can just copy it. It's the same thing. Okay, then I'm going to minimize this and let's go straight into our form. Double click on the form, and the next thing is I'm going to come right underneath here, and let's say using system dot, that will be data dot OLEDB. There we go. Okay, the connection library is now in place. I will now come straight down here. You see where we have public partial class from 1 right there. I'm going to say OLEDB. That's the one I need is for connection for now. So I'm just going to give that a name. I'm going to call it connect con is fine, equals new OLE connection. And the OLE connection, I'm going to enter parentheses at enter to speech mark and end that. Now if you guys can still recall the connection part that I copied, I'm going to paste that right in there. Look at that. See, that makes life easy. Like I said earlier on, if you miss out with the connection part, all you need to do is to come straight to your server there and just right click to get hold of the connection part, and that is the part right here. That is it right there. Just copy and paste it there. Alright, that is taken care of. Minimize that. Now the next thing that I want to do, since we have the connection part in place and you guys know how to get that done, I'm now going to go straight down to my form. Let's come in here. I'm going to double click on this add data, and right inside the add data, what we want to do is to first of all open up the connection. So let's say connect dot open, enter parentheses, and right underneath open I'm also going to say connect dot close. Okay, make sure you always close your database. Now in between them I'm going to say OLE command, and I'm going to now give that its own name, so CMD. So I'm going to now say that is equals connect dot create command there. Now the next thing is this instance that I've just created, CMD. I'm going to say dot command type right there, and that will be equals command type dot text, equals command type dot text. Okay, enter semicolon. Now we now want that very instant to get our path, so it's going to be command text, that will be equals, using the SQL statement, I'm going to say insert into, remember the name of my database right here, that is it right there. Okay, grab that, just paste that in here. So I will advise you guys to save the table and the database with the same name. That's cool. Now what I want to enter in there first of all is going to be as follows. Open up a bracket, student ID. Let's open up the database and copy it exactly. So I'm going to go straight into my documents, open up that very database, and just right click on it, select design view. I want to copy the fields in exact same format. So the first one is going to be ID, and the next one is first name, surname, and so on. Just copy and paste it there, comma, surname, comma, address, comma, that will be postcode, comma, and telephone. Just last check. Right, I think is correct. The slightest mistake, you will end up with an error, so we don't want that. Now that I have all my fields in place, there are 6 in total, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say the following values you will get the following values from as follows. So open up a bracket, I will enter in here single quote and a double quote, then I will also enter a plus sign, another plus sign, another double quote, single quote, right? Okay, right in here now I'm going to enter the name of my text box. If you come in here, grab that. We want to grab the name of this very text box. So you can see student ID. Grab that, back into our codes and paste that in between here. That is dot text there. So we successfully get the first one in place. Now the next one, I'm going to press enter so that you guys are able to see it all properly. Now the next one that I'm going to enter will be as follows. Oh, let's do one thing. Do that and press the next one right here. So what I'm going to do is, not to get things mixed up, I'm going to copy all of these and put a comma here and paste. Okay, I'll press enter. Then here I'm going to change the name of this one to first name. There we have the first name. Okay, I'm going to copy the first name as well. Okay, since I've pressed enter, I'll come right down here and paste that right here. That's going to be surname. Surname is in place. Now the next one, let's grab hold of all of these. Now let's grab hold of this one. It's kind of like tricky, so you have to be careful. Grab hold of this one, come right here and paste that right here, and that is going to be for my address. Okay, address in place. After address we have postcode, so that becomes postcode. There we go. Do we have an uppercase there? Yeah. Okay, postcode is in place. Then after postcode we have telephone. Yeah, paste that right here and change this to telephone, txt telephone. There we go. Now let's clean up the whole process here. So this we have to go, yeah, get rid of those, and here enter semicolon, and that is it. So you have to be careful when you're entering this. Okay, so have a good look at that. That is the name of my fields. Student ID, first name, surname, address, postcode and telephone. Now the next thing is for us to execute the query. So let me say command dot execute. It's not execute reader, it's going to be execute a query. This very one, execute non-query, enter parentheses and close. If you want, you can always add a message here just to reassure your user. So I'm going to say message box, message box dot show, and that's going to be data saved up or record saved, whatever, record saved in database or on database or in or on. Any of the above is fine. So let's come in here, comma, and I'm just going to call that access. Let's say access connect. Yeah, that's fine. That's the name of the message box, comma, and I'm also going to say message box dot button. That'll be okay, comma, let's say message box dot icon. Message box button icon, where is that? Should be there somewhere. There we go. I'm going to grab the one with the information and just end that. That is good. So all I then need to now do is just to try out my database. So but before I do that, I'm going to play, let's just be on the safe side. I'm going to come in and just type in try. Let's try catch whatever error that we might run into. So close that here and cache underneath here. Cache any exception ex. Right. Press enter. And in here I'm going to enter a message box there. I can copy all of this message box as well. No, first of all, let's copy this. Paste that here. And in there I'm just going to enter ex.message. So the system will generate a message for me. Then I can copy all of these, grab all of these, and just paste it right here and there. Now I'm going to do one more thing. I will close the database. There we go. Oh my god, look at that. That would have given me an error there. An apostrophe is missing here because I started this one. Okay, that's fine. Now let's see. So I'm going to run it. Let's see how the whole system works. First click on run. Okay, no error so far. So let's enter some data in here. Okay, so that is going to be, let's say, student ID. We'll just enter whatever in there, and the name is going to be my main man, Tony Montana. That's going to be Montana. And address 17 Little Venice. There. And the postcode, telephone number, and there we go. So I'm going to click on add. Oh my god, that's fine. Look at that. I'm going to click on OK. There, so the system is working. So I'm going to exit out. Let's go into our server. Look at our server there. Click on our server, and inside the table is my database. Right click on the table itself and let's click on retrieve data. If there we go, look at that. Tony Montana is now stored in my database. I'm going to close that. And what I want to do now to prove a point is to open up the database itself, double click on the database, and we should be able to see Tony Montana's details in there. Look at that. So that is fine. The system is working. Okay, let's move on. close that and minimize this. The next thing that I want to do now, I'm going to add two more components. So I'll go straight into Toolbox. I then need the print document and the print dialog viewer. This very one. Double click on that. There we go. I think it's there now. I also need the print preview dialog. There we go. So those two are up there now. We will come back to them, but you do need that. And one more thing, let's do one thing. I'm going to just change this around, move this up here, and bring this here. Then I will reduce the size of this and copy it here. I think one of them should be exit. That is the exit, so let's put the exit to the right. And I'll just add one more. I'll call that maybe view or something like that. Yeah, that's a view. There. And I'll change the name of this one to BTN view. There we go. Alright. Now for me to be able to view the data and so on, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I don't want to put the code in there. Let's create a function. Double click on that, and right underneath here I want to say void view. Let's say data viewer. Data viewer. There. Enter. Okay, my data viewer, I'm going to copy everything that I have inside the R here, including the try-catch. Just copy all of this. Come right inside this function here called data view. There. And what I want to do is, first of all, let's change this SQL query, get rid of this. All I just want is to be able to view the database, so get rid of this as well. There. And this, I don't need that. And in here, let's just select all from my database, C save, and that is all there. Okay, now that that is taken care of, we get the system executed. Then I don't need this, I'm going to get rid of that. So I'm now going to use the data table. Let's say data table, and we'll just call let's say dt equals new data table. Right. So now let's get hold of the OLE data adapter. Yeah, and I'm just gonna call that DP. Okay, DP is fine. Okay, DP equals new OLE data adapter, and this data adapter will take in the command right there. So whatever we have inside the data adapter, or inside the data table, we want it inside the data adapter. So I'm going to come down here and say dp dot fill dt data table. Now our data grid view, let's make sure we know where the name of that. Grab the name of the data grid view, that's it right there, and come right down here underneath here, just paste data grid view. That will be dot data source. And where is the source of the data? The source of the data is going to be from equals data table. There we go. And that's what I'm going to use for my viewer. Okay, I can also use it on the form load straight away. So I'm going to double click on my form load and just call this, and I will also call it inside my data viewer. So let's copy that. I'll call it inside my view button here. First of all, double click on the view button, paste that in there and copy. And I'm going to go straight to the form load. Double click on form load, paste. So let's run it and see. Run. There we go. Look at the data right in there. Okay, let's add more data in here. So let's say 7 whatever, and the name is Paul Omen. Address number 1, Gorestown. Postcode and telephone number. There we go. There. So that is the telephone number. Now let's click on add. Yeah. Okay, it's right there. So if I click on the view, do we see that? You see that? And one other thing is we can also call the view in here. So that is fine anyway. So let's take care of maybe exit. So let's just double click on exit, take care of that right away. So let's say dialog result, I exit, and I'll say I exit equals, let's grab hold of this message box, hold of this message, paste that in there, equals that, and get rid of this. That'll be my message. So that is confirm if you want to exit. There, that is taken care of. But we change this. Let's change this to dot yes or no. Okay, come right down here and let's use an if statement. If I exit equals dialog result yes, application.exit. So we've taken care of the exit. So that would prompt the user to confirm if they want to exit or not, instead of just exiting without any prompt. So let's run that and see. Click on exit. Yeah, nope. Yes, so we are able to exit. Now the next thing we want to take care of, let's take care of the updates. Double click on update. So with the update, I'm going to copy some content from here. Let's go straight into, yeah, let's come in here and just copy. I'm going to grab all of that. Let's copy all of this again. No, let's copy the viewer. Copy the viewer and come right down to update, double click on update and paste that in here. So with the update, I'm going to delete all of these here. I don't need these. Yeah, get rid of those. That seems a bit lighter. Now let's do one thing. In here, in the update, we have to change this to update and change all of these as well. Let's see, update. Okay, we update the database and set. Let's set whatever we might have inside the student ID. That will be equals txt student ID dot text. Okay, whatever we have in here equals to whatever we have in here. There should be a plus sign here, and there should be a plus sign here as well. Okay, So that is taken care of. Single. Now let's do one more thing so that we can update using student ID, surname, first name. So the next one, let's say come in here and just say where first name, and that is equals, so first name equals txt first name dot text. Right, so we are able to search with first name and surname now. Now let's enter surname as well. Okay, so we have first name, we can search with ID, we can search with first name and surname. Let's add surname. So with the surname I'm just going to say and here. So let's come in here. So that will be and, drag this here, surname. So with the surname I'm going to say equals, and let's just enter the plus sign there, txt surname dot text. Okay, that three we do there. Okay, so that is taken care of. I'm going to just press enter here so that you guys can see it properly there. Now underneath here I'm going to enter a message. Let's just get hold of this. Yeah, get hold of that. Just enter a message box that will tell the user that we've just updated the system. So I'm just going to enter in the record updated successfully. There. Okay, that will do. And one other thing is we can also just get hold of the viewer, data viewer. I'm going to grab hold of my data viewer so that the updates reflect on the data viewer. So come right down here and just paste that in there. Okay, that's good. Now, okay, I think it would be a good idea to try out the update now. So let's see how that's gonna work. You see in here, if I click on this, I would have liked to be able to just select all of the data in there. So before I update, instead of me typing out everything, let's come back in here. You see the data grid view. Let's go to this event in there. I'm gonna need a cell. Let's come into cell click, this very one here. So double click on cell click. So inside the cell click now, so I'm gonna say let's use try cache, and where's my cache statement? Grab all of those, let's put that underneath here, and I'm gonna do as follows. Right in here, txt student id dot text, that will be equals data grid view 1 dot select row, and the selected row, that will be an array of 0 dot cell, and that will be 0 dot value. Okay, cells with an S here, and the value with without the S. There we go, get rid of this. Alright, now that's fine. So I'm going to copy that. The next one, that is going to be for the text box and so on. So this is for username, oh no, first name. This is for surname, and we have address. Then we have postcode, and finally telephone. The whole idea is for me to be able to click on the data grid view and everything displays on the text box. So it's all row 0, and in here that will be 1. Cell will be 1 here, 2, 3, 4 and 5. There we go. Alright, that should work. So let's save that and run it. Click on run. So far, yeah, that's good. So if I click on this, there we go. Look at that. So now let's assume we want to change any details in here. Let's go for the student ID of Tony. There we go. All we then need to do is just click on update. Yep, update successful. There we go. Look at that. Can you guys see that? Look at these details of student of Tony Montana there. That has changed. We can do the same thing for this. So let's change that to, and then just click on update. There, look at that. That's updated as well. So the update is working fine, as you can see. That's good. So let's come in here and just take care of delete. Yeah, double click on delete. So let's grab the data we have inside the update. So double click on update, and I'm going to just maybe copy all of this as well. Copy. Let's go straight inside delete. Double click on delete again, paste that in there. And now we just need to change the SQL query in here. So this will become delete. There. So delete from, that's all, delete all from my database, and here where, instead of set, that will be where the student ID equals as follows. Okay, we can use the student ID. Yep, that's good enough for me. So I'm going to get rid of all of this and just use the student ID alone. So come right here, get rid of everything there. There we go. Okay, and get the query, execute the query, close the table, message box, and that is delete. Record successfully deleted. Successfully deleted. All right. Okay, let's try out delete, and hopefully there's no error. First of all, I'm going to add some more data in there. So let's enter here, and let's say the name is Sally Jones, number 13, Hilltop Close. And telephone number. Right, add, yeah, and let's see, we click on add, let's view. Oh, Sally is there, so I need to add view in here. So let's say we want to delete maybe Tony Montana. Okay, we want to delete the record of Tony Montana. We just hit that there. If I refresh, as you can see, Tony Montana's details is no longer here. So if I refresh, that's it. So when we delete, we should also clear out all the details that we have in here. So let's come back in here, yeah, right here. So we now want to clear every single detail that we have inside the in there. So you can just say, well, txt days dot clear. So you're gonna have to write that for all. So the next one is gonna be the text box. That is for the name, surname, where is it? Paste. Postcode, paste. Address, paste. Altogether should be 6. Telephone number is missing. TXT telephone number. And paste there. So we just clear out the whole of the text box. Okay. So let's copy this viewer. I want this viewer to also update, data viewer to update the system in here once you add anything that is updated straight away. Okay, inside the, let's see. Okay, I think I'm going to press enter here so that you guys can see that properly as well. Okay, that's fine. So let's run it and add more data in there. It's coming up. We are almost done. Okay, we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need about 3 more to do. So enter some data in there. So that's the student ID there. And the name is, let's say, John Johnson. And address of Johnson, Kingsland Road. There. Let's see. Let's just change that to RD. Okay. All right. Code, telephone number, update. Yes. And there we go. Johnson's details is there. And let's assume we want to get rid of Johnson's details again. So just come right here, click on delete. Yes. There, all gone. You see that, guys? That is fine. So now let's take care of resets. So reset, we can just copy and paste whatever we have inside delete. So I'm going to come in here, come right here, double click on reset, and just grab hold of all of these, including the viewer. So that will be my reset done. That's a quick one. That is the reset. So come back in here. We now want to take care of the print. Let's take care of search first. Double click on search. We have viewer working. This is working. 1, 2 left. Double click on search. Okay, let's go right up there and copy. Yeah, right here. I'm going to copy every single content in here inside the data viewer. Copy that, scroll right down, back to the search, and paste that in here. So what I want to do now is, you see in the command text, I'm going to change the SQL to select all from the name of my database, and that is going to be where student ID equals as follows. So let's say that will be txt student ID, txt student ID dot text. So that is going to be 1. So we can search with student ID, and Let's search again with, I'm going to say, or we can search with first name. Okay, that's good. Equals first name. So that is going to be apostrophe and first name plus first name, txt first name dot text. Okay, let's also have the option of searching with surname. So I'm going to copy this. Let's copy all of this here and paste that in here, and this will become surname, and change this to surname. And here we just end it with plus speech mark, apostrophe, speech mark. That is it, done. Okay, I'm going to break it into two so that you guys can see that. This, yep, that is fine. So let's just press enter here. Okay. Now, there is one thing, because I'm now searching with each of these text box, but I already have a search text box in there that will take care of my search. So I might as well call the name of this very text box. So come right down here and just grab the name of that text box, copy, and let's go into our text search criteria in there. And here, instead of student ID, I'm going to put in search box. So if student ID equals whatever we have inside the search, that's fine. If the first name equals that, or this first name equals that, that's fine, and the surname as well. There. Okay, so that will do. Now let's do one thing. I'm going to save that. I need to add more something to validate the search. So let's just run it and see how that's going to look like for now. Right. And let's assume we want to look for Owen. Click on search. There we go. It's able to find me. And let's view and look for the other guy, Jones. Let's, instead of Jones, let's just enter Sally and search. We got Sally's details in there, so that is brilliant. Okay, now one more thing. Supposing the details is not there, we want the system to tell us then it's not there. So maybe in here I can just enter, let's enter a local variable, a global variable here. In fact, I'm going to need two. So in here, that is going to be, I'm going to call that checkers. Int checkers, or int checker, that's fine. Then I'm also going to declare another one for my bitmap. I'm just going to call that bitmap. I'll be using that for the printer. There we go. Okay, now let me grab hold of the checker, and I'm going to go back into my search here, and up here I'm just going to say, let's get the checker initialized. The first value in there is 0. However, if checker equals 0, we want something to happen. But before then, underneath here, I'm going to say checker, that will be equals convert dot to int 32. And what is it converting? It's actually converting whatever we have inside the database. So let's say dt dot roles dot count dot to string. There. Okay, and that. So that is my search. So right underneath here now, I'm now going to use the following. So let's use an if statement. If checker equals 0. So I just want the message box to say something not found. So I'm going to grab this, paste that in there, and just say record not found. Not found. And that's it. Okay, so now let's try that out. I want to see if that's going to work. So have a good look at the lines of code for the search. Okay, have a good look at it. You're going to need that. Let's move this up a little bit, just, and this. Okay, that's it. That's the lines of code for the checkers. Run. And let's see. It's coming out. I'm going to enter whatever in here. And let's search. Not found in there. So delete this one. Let's enter it in here. Not found. So if it's not found, I want you to get it cleared. So let's come in here and say if it's not found, txt search.text equals clear. There. Okay, that is done for the search. Save that. Now the next one I want to now take care of is my print function, this very one. First of all, double click on the wait a minute. Before we double click on that, I'm going to select the print preview here, and let's go to the properties of the print preview. You see where we have documents, drop that down and let's select print document 1, this very one. Now double click on the print button, and right inside here, so I'm going to enter the following lines of code. Scroll right up there. So I have to speed that up. Those are the lines of code for that. So have a good look at that. Save. Just one more to go. So I will now double click on the print document itself. Double click on with the print document in here. I'm going to use try catch again, so let's just grab hold of that, copy, come right down here. There's a try catch. This is not going to be long, so that's fine. So I'm just going to say e dot graphic dot draw. That will be draw image. Let's see, I might as well type it out. Draw image, and that is going to be my variable that is right up there. Bitmap, I want it to start from 0, 0. That is the coordinate where it's going to be starting from, which is right up here. Yeah, and that's all there is to that. So what will happen is with these lines of code in here, it's going to print out whatever I have inside the data grid view. So I'm going to save that, and let's run it and you guys see what I'm talking about. First of all, let's add more data in there. So let's say the student ID is 5, whatever. And the name of the student ID, I'm going to say the name is Peter Gambino. An address of Peter Gambino, Goodman Road. and here. There. Add the details of Gambino, and that is Peter Gambino there. Okay, and if we click on reset, you can add more details of any other person in there. So, and say, let's say we add in Kingsley Wells. Let's say he lives in Oshodi. Okay, and here we have the postcode as and here telephone number. There we go. Click on update. Yes, that is added as well. And suppose you want to print that out, just click on print. There we go. And look at that. All they need to do is just click on the print button right there. There we go. I don't have a printer, so I'm just going to exit out. There. Okay, I am now going to call this officially the end of this project. So let's minimize this so that you guys can see the lines of code that I use in developing everything. So let's come right down here. All right, let's stop that from running. Come right here, add data. Double click on add data. Those are the lines of code for add data. Okay, now double click on update. Lines of code for updates right there. Next one, delete. Lines of code for delete. Reset, that is easy right there. Now we have print. Double click on print. Those are the lines of code for print. From here down here for the button, for the objects. That is it right there for the object. Now let's have a look at search. Lines of code for search. From here all the way up here, down here I mean. Now view. With the view I created a function. That is the function. I call it data view. Now the next one, exit. Let's exit. And remember the two variables or these three variables in there, so you're gonna have to watch the video carefully to understand this. And I also make sure this library is added. And that's all there is to it. So let's run it one more time. There we go. Click on that. There. So with that guys, I'm going to call it the end of this tutorial. I suppose you guys enjoy it, and please do subscribe to my channel, and you can also join to become a member of the channel. There's a lot of benefit for members. So with that, I'm going to say bye for now. You all have a nice day.